Good morning. This is actually the first time that I have met Rachel Storck. I love what she does, and I'm so happy that she is here with us today. Rachel Storck is the Community Engagement Director for the Port Angeles Fine Arts Center. She has been a part of the Port Angeles Fine Arts Center team since April of 2021. As the Community Engagement Director, she has a range of responsibilities, including marketing and public communications, membership, the volunteer program, website, and design. As a team member of a small nonprofit, however, she also assists in woods upkeep, and we really want to get to some questions about the woods because that really is my passion. Exhibition installations, gallery operations, and events. Rachel moved to Port Angeles from Michigan's Upper Peninsula in 2020 and is thrilled to be working at a community-minded arts nonprofit and an incredibly beautiful location. Rachel, it's all yours.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me. Great. So as Kathy said, I've been with the Fine Arts Center for just over 2 years now. And there's a long history prior to my arrival. Some of you may know a little bit about the Art Center or the Woods, but just to recap, the Fine Arts Center was conceived in 1986 through the artist and community leader Esther Webster. She donated her estate to the city of Port Angeles, and this included her home and the surrounding 5 acres. These spaces are now known as the Esther Webster Gallery and Webster's Woods Sculpture Park. The city maintained operations until 2016, when it was handed over for day-to-day operations to the Fine Arts Center Foundation. So the city still owns the property, but all of the day-to-day management and programs are run by the nonprofit. Slide 2. Our mission is to honor the legacy of Esther Webster by connecting people to the arts. And next slide. As an organization, we believe in our mission because art can transform communities and individual lives, and therefore everyone should be empowered to engage in the creative process. Next slide. So our goal is to be the place on the Olympic Peninsula where discovery and exploration of the arts enriches the community and inspires the artist in every person. Next, please. And within this mission, there are 3 key ingredients. Placemaking. This is using our unique environmental setting as a driver for connection and inspiration. Community enrichment. We want to ensure that all of our programs and our exhibits have a means for direct engagement in order to create meaningful connections to the arts. And finally, we ensure access by creating different pathways to engagement. Next slide. So creating many pathways for engagement is really crucial if we're going to inspire the artist in every person. A lot of people don't see art as relevant to their lives. I often hear people say, I'm not an artist, I don't have an artistic bone in my body. And yet art is infused into all aspects of our lives, from signs on the street to our students' textbooks, to public art that enhances community spaces. So ultimately, it's a vital communication tool that we believe everybody should have in their toolkit. Next slide, please. So how do we implement all of these goals and missions? So our programs provide free and affordable art enrichment opportunities for people of all ages and demographics. They connect people with transformative nature experiences in Webster's Woods, and they support the livelihood and interests of artists by showcasing or employing their talents. We rely on these ingredients to ensure that our programmatic choices are not only meeting the needs of our community, but are also grounded in our mission and vision. Slide 8. And as you can see, we offer a variety of programming, including 4 to 6 gallery exhibits each year, 3 outdoor art festivals tied to the seasons. We run after-school workshops that make use of STEAM and environmental education principles. Our presentation series called Civic Minds Creative Hearts was built around the premise of creating connection points for community members who traditionally see themselves outside of art. We offer free field trips for school groups and can provide classroom instruction. We host 2 weeks of summer camps for ages 7 through 12. Last year, we launched our career labs for teens. And an important element to our work is that we aim to elevate artists. So we help them showcase and sell their work through our gift store, makers market, art park, and gallery exhibits. And we also serve as an artist resource, providing people with info about upcoming opportunities to display work around the region. Last year, artists were able to generate $33,000 through our organization. We have a strong partnership with Olympic Peninsula Authors Group, and through that partnership, we offer quarterly literary events like readings and our Poetry in the Park program. So that's the little signs throughout the park that you'll see with poems. And we are in our 3rd year. We rotate those every year. And lastly, as a means to create more engagement, we offer art-based checkout kits, a geocache, and scavenger hunts so people can interact throughout the woods whenever they contact us and come through the gallery. Next slide, please. So these are all my numbers from last year. In 2022, we had over 31,700 visits to the park, 4,409 visits to the gallery, 443 youth engaged via school trips, summer camp, or youth workshops. We partnered with over 20 classrooms across the district and contributed more than 200 hours of instruction in those classrooms. We welcomed 791 people to our free summer and fall festivals and exhibited the work of 150 adult artists and 297 youth artists. Next slide. In particular, we're really proud of the work that we've done reinvigorating our youth programs. So that's the after-school workshops, field trip program, classroom education, and summer camp. We make use of arts integrated curriculum, meaning students meet dual learning objectives when they engage in the creative process. So this helps students to explore connections between an art form and another subject area, and that way they gain greater understanding in both areas. Our field trip program is free. Teachers can choose to incorporate elements of a gallery visit or a woods visit or both. And this year we've already hosted 13 field trips serving 307 students. And I don't know if you've been to the woods recently, but today is our last day of summer camp. So there's young people all over the woods and running around. This is our 3rd year running. We run 2 weeks of the summer nature art camps. And we started this program in 2021 in response to what we saw as a need for childcare in our community, and particularly for outdoor opportunities. So this year we've had 58 students across 4 different camp offerings who have filled 88 camp slots. So some kids stayed for multiple camps, but a lot of spots to fill, a lot of kids on campus. Next slide, please. We also launched into a partnership with the Port Angeles School District, and this is through a grant-funded program called Creative Start. And this program integrates art, science, playful movement, storytelling, and social emotional learning to deepen students' learning capacity and connection to the natural world. So the grant builds upon the science curriculum that teachers are already using in their classrooms. And then we serve as an anchor partner for the district. Our staff handles coordinating art project design, curriculum development, scheduling of teaching artists, and lesson plan implementation. During the 22-23 school year, we worked with 13 teachers across 3 schools, and our youth education director completed 45 classroom visits with lessons that integrate student school gardens with arts and science curriculum. We also brought 8 teaching artists into the classroom for these visits. So we're now heading into our 3rd year of this Creative Start program, and we will be working with teachers across the district again. Next slide. And each year this program ends with the Blooming Artist exhibit. You'll see pictures here. So every student in that program has the opportunity to have their artwork on display in the gallery. And we also host an opening reception to celebrate these students as artists. Next slide. So talking about programming, I just wanted to put a little plug about our current exhibits. We have Turbinates in the gallery right now. That's a collaboration with Olympic National Park. And there are only 2 more weekends to see this if you're interested. So this weekend and next weekend. And then after that, we have a juried exhibit in collaboration with the Olympic Peninsula Art Association. So that opening reception is free to attend and open to the public, and will be on Friday, September 15th from 5 to 7. Next slide. I also want to highlight our festivals. So each festival has some unique things, but they all have food and drink vendors, art activity stations, and a main event or performance. These photos are from our Summertide Solstice Art Festival. So this happens in June each year. This year we had live music, solstice crowns, poetry readings in the courtyard, and we had a record-breaking 700 people in attendance. That is our largest Summertide by far. We almost doubled last year's numbers. Next slide. Our Celebration of Shadows Fall Festival will be on Saturday, October 21st. We have a pumpkin carving workshop and contest, and then we line the paths of the woods with these carved pumpkins. And this festival and the Summertide Festival are both free opportunities. There are some paid components, but people can come in and enjoy the woods and walk around for free. Next slide, please. Yes, John.
Rachel, you're going through all these activities and things. It's astounding the growth in the engagement of the Fine Arts Center with the community in the last several years. I mean, Lisa and I have attended several of them. One of them I just happened to think of was carving a pumpkin. You know, doggone it, that's something that we all did as a kid. It is so much fun. The pumpkins are there, and then at night, you get to walk around. The pumpkins are lit throughout the woods. I mean, that's just an example of what the fine arts staff has done with Rachel and Christina and all the folks that are working up there. It's just a kudos from all the great stuff that you guys are doing.
Thank you. Thank you, John.
It used to be just a sleepy little house up on the hill. You know, but the sleepy little house is a jewel in itself. But it's just a great thing that you're doing for the community.
Oh, thank you, John. Are you coming back this year for pumpkin carving?
We definitely will.
Okay, I'm gonna hold you to that. So then lastly, we have our biggest festival of the year, which is our Wintertide Festival of Lights. This includes light art installations throughout the woods, our makers market in the gallery, and one night of art stations and light and fire performances. This is our one ticketed festival, and it's a great event for us. We've had really great feedback, but it's also definitely our biggest event that helps us with some funding. And I'll have Eric play the video if possible.
Not wanting to play for some reason.
Okay, well.
Hmm. As big as I can make it.
Okay. So this is just to give people a sense of sort of the feel of this festival. It's obviously in December, so it's dark, and we like to have this opportunity for people to come out and feel some community lightness and joy. So we have a lantern walk and the fire performers and light throughout the woods. Matt Sagan of Cascadia Films. Yeah, fantastic. I love using this for promo. I bring this video everywhere. All right, next slide, please. Okay, well, while that's getting set, I'll just dive into the next one and let Eric get that.
Oh, no.
I know. Hi, girl. How long does it take you to get set up for it?
Oh, months.
Yeah.
Yes, last week is when we started our makers market process. So that will be ongoing until we get that set up and running. And it takes a lot of time to get the lights all up through the woods. Mostly our staff and volunteers are the people putting up all this extra lighting and decor. And then it's kind of the event push of like the day of, we're getting all the extra artists in there, the vendors in there, and it's kind of just that blur of events. So I know you know the feeling. Okay. So in addition to all of these regular programming, we also have some other exciting projects going on right now. Our staff are helping to co-facilitate a process with local agencies located along Lordson Boulevard and fellow arts organizations to develop the Uptown Arts District. So partners on this project include Peninsula College, Olympic National Park, the library, the school district, the community playhouse, JFFA, and Field Hall. The primary goal of the project is to increase our collaboration in order to generate vibrant arts and culture experiences and education along that Lordson Boulevard corridor. And we'll have more public-facing materials on that soon, so keep an eye out. That's coming up. We're working on the website right now, and this collaboration will really help all these organizations work together so that we're feeding all the needs of the community without overlapping efforts.
Is that like a state program that you're working on?
We have grants. We've gotten grant funding from, I believe it's the National Endowment for the Arts. So that's federal arts program. It's not necessarily a designated Washington Arts District, which is sort of a different thing. It's really just the collaboration with the groups.
Previous working with Elevate PA with the Uptown Arts District.
But yeah, I think so. So yeah, we're trying to incorporate all of the marketing to be cohesive and branded along the boulevard so that visually you can identify that all of these organizations are part of this group. And so sort of how downtown has its own feel and its own corridor and all these places work together. That's what we're trying to do up here on the hill a little bit. Next slide, please. So in addition to the Uptown Arts District, we are also working on some capital improvements for Webster's Woods. Last year, we formed the Webster's Woods Advisory Group, and that's a partnership with neighbors, group members, and board members. And the goal of that group is to support the long-term health of Webster's Woods Sculpture Park. And that group created a 3-year strategic plan for the woods. This year, we were awarded lodging tax funds to support the creation of an ADA accessible trail through the woods. We completed phase 1 of the project in July. So we now have an accessible path between the Playhouse and the Port Angeles Fine Arts Center parking lots, and between our parking lot and the meadow in Webster's Woods. So we're really excited to start this process. This is just phase 1 of our plan to have an accessible trail that does a full loop through the woods. This means more people can experience art, more people can walk through and enjoy the sculpture park on a daily basis and for our events. And lastly, as a part of both the Arts District and our capital improvements, we're working towards new informational and directional signage for the woods and for our spaces in general. A lot of people come to the Art Center for the first time and think that the water tower is the building and say, you know, I got confused, I walked around, I couldn't find the door. So we're really working on better signage so that visitors can feel at ease and know what's going on. Next slide, please. So how do we make this work? We're a very small office. We currently operate with 2 full-time and 3 part-time staff. And together, that's the team that's working to make all of this magic happen. Our funding comes from a range of sources with a heavy emphasis on community support and grant funding in order to keep our programs free or affordable. Gallery access is always free. It doesn't cost anything to come visit the gallery, and that's year round, aside from our specific ticketed events. In the last year, we've received grants from large federal organizations to local ones. Just a few are the City Lodging, Washington State Arts Commission, National Endowment for the Arts, the Institute of Museums and Libraries, the Clallam County Heritage Advisory Committee, and the Seattle Foundation. We currently have 241 members at the Arts Center, and those membership donations range from $35 to $100, and that's a yearly membership. And those are really important to our operational costs. And finally, we generate revenue from programs like workshops and the Wintertide Festival, and through the sale of art in the gallery and gift store. Next slide, please. There are a number of ways you can support us. You can join us as a sponsor for an exhibit or an event, become a member or donate. You could volunteer with us for special projects and gallery hosting. And lastly, attend events, take workshops, come participate in all the things that we're putting on. That is really helpful, and we want everybody to come and enjoy these programs we're putting out. So thank you so much for your time. It was lovely to be here, and I'm happy to answer any questions if people have them.
So the new field hall and event center has created an art space. Are you in some way collaborating with them to fill that space? What is the connection?
Yeah, so currently we are not, I'll backtrack. So we are Will partners of Field Arts and Events Hall. So at the beginning, when they were developing their gallery space, our previous gallery director, Sarah Jane, did help out with some consultation. So we helped kind of give some pointers on what we knew about gallery spaces. But as far as operations of the gallery, we're not directly connected. We just don't have the staff capacity to be able to operate two galleries. So they're two separate galleries, but with collaboration and promotions of each exhibit going on. Yeah.
I'm totally amazed. So what you do, I had no idea. How do you disseminate the information? I don't think I've seen a lot of it come through. And then secondly, it seems you hit every demographic.
We try to. Yeah. So as far as disseminating information, the bulk of our updates, the most consistent updates are for the subscribers on our newsletter. The newsletters go out each week. We have 2,500 people subscribed. Obviously, not everybody reads the newsletter every week, but through our website, we do issue press releases for events. We're often in the PDN and the Squim Gazette, social media channels also, and our physical presence, so flyers and things like that, is something I'm working on, so we can be a little bit more visible. We try to get things up downtown when we can, but yeah, I'll start sending your group information so you all can be up to date as well.
I just want to say that when we worked together as a school district, the amount of love and care that you give students is incredible. Hundreds of hours that you invested into the culminating exhibit was the Blooming Artists exhibit. So the name of the program of that is?
So that's the Creative Start program. So that includes the whole school year of us working with the teachers and students, and then it ends with that Blooming Artist exhibit.
So are you going to do that again this year? In
Yes.
the same capacity, so at the end you'll have the exhibit.
Yes.
I'm really looking forward to seeing you.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be a staple program. The exhibit of kids artwork will be a shorter run. I think we're gonna stick with 3 weekends to have the kids artwork up, so that it's enough so that kids and families can come see their art on the walls. Yeah.
And second question, what are the perks of becoming a member?
The perks, great question, Carmen. So as a member with us, you'll get discounted ticket rates for any workshops and events. It's usually a small amount, maybe like $5 difference, but you do get to have your member discount rate. And then you get invited to member-only events. I'm thinking specifically, we have a members-only preview of our Makers Market, which opens the day after Thanksgiving, but members will have a chance to come earlier in the week, and it's only members to come and do the shopping early. You'll also, if you sign up at $100, you'll get a NARM card, and that is the North American Reciprocal Museum. So other organizations that are part of that network, you'll get a card that will get you discounted or free access to other organizations that are part of this group. And there's quite a list from Bainbridge to Seattle to Vancouver. They're all over the country. So if you travel and do a lot of art museums or galleries, that could be quite a benefit. Okay, well, thank you all so much. Oh, yes,
I have one question. That big wooden chair, the
yes,
one that has like a price on it,
yes,
are we supposed to sit on that?
yes.
Okay. It's quite pricey and it looks nice to sit on. I'm just.
Yes, thank you for asking. That tension of this is art, do I touch it or do I need to interact with it? Yes, that one that's in the meadow,
Yeah.
it's perfect support for your back, you lay back, lounge. Yeah, that one that you can touch.
It's a really nice chair if you haven't seen.
Yeah.
And again, a really, really wonderful job that staff up there has done to engage the community. I mean, the number of programs that they do is astounding. The number of kids that they reach in the classrooms is astounding. Keep it up.
Thank you, John.
And John, you're a teaching artist, aren't you?
I did do that.
Can you
There's
talk-
nothing more intimidating than trying to teach first graders how to watercolor. You can just imagine the result in the first grade, yeah, but it's a great program. Again, you don't know what to do. And on top of that, teachers that teach first and second grade are totally underpaid and totally underappreciated.
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
that is one challenging job.
Yes. With the kids on campus this week, I have been hiding in my office while the instructors are handling the children. I don't know what to do.
I also want to give a shout out to the Makers Market. Wonderful local gifts and great support for our local artists and for people who make good. I
Yeah,
just love shopping.
it's a fun place to shop. It's all Clallam County artists, so it is specifically local artists are invited to apply to the Makers Market. Last year we had, I think, 36 artists who displayed for that market.
Any other questions? Comments?
Thank you so much, and thank you to Eric for the tech help. I appreciate it. Oh, Scott, I'm sorry. Thank you to Scott.